My friends, the greatest mistake you can make in life is waiting for someone to approve your dreams, waiting for the right time, waiting for permission. But I tell you now, and I say it with the full force of truth behind me, you do not need anyone's permission to rise. Every great man and woman you admire, they did not ask for approval. They did not wait to be chosen. They chose themselves. They moved boldly, often before they felt ready, and the world made room for them because they made room for themselves. Most people live their entire lives waiting for the right opportunity, the perfect moment, the green light from someone else. They have big dreams, powerful ideas, and a deep desire to change their lives, but they do nothing. Why? Because deep down they believe they need permission. Permission from parents, from society, from teachers, bosses, friends, or even strangers. But here's the truth. No one is coming to give you that permission. No one will walk into your life and declare, you are now ready to live your purpose. That moment never arrives unless you create it. The greatest shift happens when you realize that the authority to move forward, to take the next step, to transform your life, it has always belonged to you. It was never outside of you. Success doesn't come to those who wait for validation. It comes to those who validate themselves. The people who build empires, write history, create change, are not the ones who asked for permission. They are the ones who gave themselves permission to try, to fail, to rise again. They understood that if they waited for society's approval, they would spend their entire lives in chains, trapped in a system designed to reward obedience, not brilliance. When you finally stop asking, when you stop hoping for someone to say yes to your vision, that's when you become powerful. Because in that moment you are free. You are no longer a product of other people's opinions or rules. You are a creator of your own path. Think about this. How many dreams have died because someone waited? How many businesses never started? How many books were never written? How many talents were buried? Because people waited for permission that never came. The world is filled with silent cemeteries of unexpressed potential. The only way to escape that fate is to act now, boldly, without anyone's blessing. It may feel uncomfortable, it may feel reckless, but the truth is, it's the most honest act of self-respect to say to yourself, I believe in me enough to move even if no one else does. When you take ownership of your choices and refuse to be held hostage by outside approval, your life begins to shift. You stop following trends and start creating direction. You stop doubting your instincts and start honoring your inner voice. People may not understand you at first. They may resist you, criticize you, even laugh at you, but none of that matters, because once you've chosen yourself, once you've given yourself full permission to move, to build, to become, the world begins to respond differently. Opportunities appear, paths unfold, energy shifts. Why? Because life rewards the bold. Life recognizes when someone steps into their own authority, and when you do that, you stop being a spectator in your own story and start becoming the author. So stop waiting. No one else has the power you do, always have, always will. Action is the great separator between dreams and reality. Everyone has visions of the life they want to live, success, happiness, freedom, but only a few turn those visions into something tangible. The reason is simple. Most people never take the first step. They think, they plan, they hope, but they don't move, and yet, the moment you decide to act, no matter how uncertain or unprepared you feel, something powerful begins to shift. Opportunities start appearing, people start noticing, and life starts responding in ways you never expected. This is the secret most people overlook. Action itself generates opportunity. Waiting never does. There's a common misconception that you must have all the answers before you begin, that you need clarity, resources, and perfect timing. But that's an illusion. No one ever truly feels ready. Those who achieve great things are often the ones who step forward before the path is fully visible. They don't wait for the stars to align. They move with what they have where they are, and trust that the rest will unfold as they go. In doing so, they set things in motion that can only be triggered by movement. The universe does not respond to thought alone. It responds to effort. When you act, you signal to life itself that you are serious, and life rewards seriousness with momentum, with synchronicity, with doors that would have remained shut had you not knocked. There is an undeniable magnetism in action. People are drawn to movers, those who don't just talk about ideas but execute them. You build credibility with every step you take, and each step brings new insights, new lessons, and new levels of confidence. Even your mistakes become valuable because they guide you, teach you, and refine your direction. Inaction, on the other hand, is a silent killer. It eats away at your energy, your belief, and eventually your identity. The longer you wait, the heavier the fear becomes. But the instant you move, the fear begins to lose its grip. Most importantly, action transforms how you see yourself. You stop being a passive dreamer and start becoming an active creator. That shift in identity is everything, because when you see yourself as someone who moves instead of someone who waits you unlock a deeper level of strength. You no longer rely on motivation alone, you build discipline. You no longer depend on outside encouragement. You create inner drive, and the more you move, the more capable you become. So don't overthink, don't delay. Your path won't reveal itself through overanalysis. It will reveal itself through forward motion. Let action become your compass. Take the next step, even if it's a small one, because one step taken in courage is more powerful than 1,000 intentions trapped in fear. Your life will not change because you wished for it. It will change because you moved for it. The world does not celebrate those who conform. It celebrates those who dare. Courage, not compliance, is the foundation of transformation. When you look at the people who have shaped history, led revolutions, built empires, or even quietly changed their families' destinies, you will find a common thread. They were bold. They moved against the grain. They questioned norms, broke patterns, and chose a path that was rarely walked. They didn't follow the rules just to fit in. They rewrote the rules to reflect their vision, and that decision to lead rather than follow is what allowed them to live extraordinary lives. Compliance is easy. It asks nothing of you but silence and obedience. Courage, on the other hand, demands that you risk, that you speak, that you move even when you are afraid. We are conditioned from a young age to seek approval. We are taught to sit still, wait our turn, and not challenge the system. This programming makes us believe that fitting in is safer than standing out. But safety comes at a cost. When you comply just to stay comfortable, you sacrifice your true self. You trade your authenticity for acceptance, and over time, this kind of living becomes a slow death. You may survive, but you will not thrive. Courage is the antidote to this kind of existence. It is the fire that ignites potential. It doesn't mean you have no fear. It means you choose to move in spite of fear. When you act courageously, you give others permission to do the same. You become a light in the dark, a reminder that bravery is not reserved for the chosen few. It is a choice available to everyone. The world may not reward you immediately. In fact, it may resist you at first. People might criticize you for being different. They might try to shame you back into silence. But their resistance is not a reflection of your wrongness. It is a reflection of their fear. They see in your courage what they have buried in themselves, and the truth is, once you make peace with being misunderstood, you become unstoppable. Compliance is the cage, courage is the key. Every time you choose the bold path, you grow. You expand your capacity. You discover strengths you didn't know you had. You begin to live with a sense of power that cannot be faked. This kind of power doesn't come from titles, money, or status. It comes from knowing that you are living in alignment with your soul. That kind of life commands respect. It attracts the right people. It creates opportunities that were invisible before. And most of all, it brings a peace that can't be found in approval. So choose courage, not comfort. Speak when it's easier to stay silent. Take the risk when it's safer to stay where you are. Because your life will never change through obedience alone. It will change the moment you decide that your truth is worth more than anyone else's opinion. When you begin to move without waiting for permission, resistance is inevitable. It shows up in many forms: doubt from others, criticism from those closest to you, fear within your own mind. But this resistance is not a sign to stop. It is a sign that you are growing. Every time you break away from the norm, you trigger discomfort, not just in yourself, but in the people around you. They may question your decisions, challenge your direction, or even try to pull you back to where they feel safe. This is not because they are evil or want you to fail. It's because your courage highlights their hesitation. Your movement exposes their stillness, and for some, that's hard to watch. Resistance is the natural companion of progress. No great transformation happens without it. It's the test that determines how much you really want what you say you want. Many people start with fire in their hearts, but turn back at the first sign of resistance. They take opposition as a signal that they're doing something wrong, but in truth, it's often a sign you're finally doing something right. Growth requires disruption. It shakes the old foundations so something stronger can be built in their place. If your path is too smooth, it might mean you're still stuck in the safe zone, still walking within the lines drawn by someone else. When resistance comes, don't run from it. Study it. Ask yourself, why is this challenge here? What is it trying to teach me? Sometimes resistance comes from your own mind, fear, insecurity, self-doubt. Other times it comes from your environment, unsupportive people, discouraging voices, or external roadblocks, but all of it serves a purpose. It forces you to dig deeper, to find the strength within yourself that comfort never required. It makes you resilient. Every time you choose to move forward despite the resistance, you develop inner power. You start to realize that you don't need everything to go smoothly. You just need the courage to keep going when it doesn't. People will doubt you. Some will even resent your growth, but that's not your burden to carry. Your responsibility is not to make others comfortable with your transformation. It's to stay loyal to your evolution. The voices that try to hold you back will grow quieter over time, but only if you refuse to let them define your direction. Stand firm, keep building, let your results speak louder than their opinions, and remember you are not alone. Every leader, visionary, and game changer has faced this resistance. What set them apart was not luck, it was persistence. You were not meant to live small just to avoid resistance. You were built for more. You were made to overcome. Let the resistance refine you, not stop you. Let it build your character, not break your spirit. Because once you realize that resistance is not your enemy, but your trainer, your perspective shifts. And with it, your whole life begins to rise. Belief is powerful, but belief alone is not enough. Many people sit with deep faith in their dreams, visions of a better life, and a strong inner knowing that they are meant for more. They speak of it, pray for it, visualize it, but they do not move, they do not act. And without action, belief remains a quiet echo inside the mind, never translating into results. You must understand this fundamental truth. Faith without bold and consistent action is wasted potential. It becomes a form of comfort, a fantasy that feels good in the moment, but delivers nothing in reality. Action is the bridge between your inner belief and your outer life. It is what transforms thought into experience, hope into progress, and desire into achievement. The world does not respond to what you think, it responds to what you do. You could believe with all your heart that you were born to be great, but until you step into that greatness with real decisions, real risks, and real movement, nothing changes. People often wait for the perfect moment to begin, for fear to disappear, or for clarity to fully arrive, but that moment rarely comes. Boldness is not something you wait for, it's something you step into. Boldness is the engine that powers belief. When you take action aligned with your vision, you tell the universe and yourself that you are serious, that you're not just dreaming, you're building. You may fail. You may face setbacks, but each act of boldness strengthens your confidence and deepens your commitment. Even small actions compound over time. They build momentum, and momentum is where transformation begins. Once you begin, energy shifts, opportunities arise, people start noticing, life starts opening doors that were once invisible, many lie trapped in analysis and overthinking. They rehearse their goals in their minds but never bring them into the world. They convince themselves they need more time, more resources, more validation. But what they truly need is courage. The bold don't have all the answers. They simply choose to trust the process more than their fear. They move even when the outcome is unclear. They understand that clarity often comes asterisk after asterisk action, not before. Action teaches, it reveals, it adjusts your course, but none of that is possible unless you begin. You are not powerless. You are not waiting on fate. The most powerful decision you can make is to stop waiting and start moving. Boldly, even imperfectly. When you match your faith with bold, relentless action, you become unstoppable. You stop living in your mind and start shaping your world. There's nothing more frustrating than knowing what you're capable of but watching yourself stay stuck. The antidote is motion. The solution is boldness. So whatever you believe in, your gift, your purpose, your dream, back it with action. Let your life be proof that you had the courage to move when others stood still, because in the end, it won't be your beliefs that change your life. It will be what you did with them.